Agude said that she would be. She wasn't quite sure whether she was going to be able to make it or not, but she said that you would be able to fill in for her.
Yes.
Okay, great, great. We're going to wait maybe one or two more minutes, and we'll get started.
Okay.
Yeah. And be patient with me because I am calling in from my phone, which is something I don't like doing, but I don't really have much choice. I am actually in Florida on vacation and um, actually en route here, um, but in any case, it's working out pretty good. I just don't like using my phone because I feel somewhat confined. I can't see
Right.
as many videos as I would like to, but okay, recording is okay. But while we're waiting for those, is there anyone that has not been, this is maybe your first time on this particular reentry council meeting? If it is, maybe if you could just introduce yourself and your organization.
My name is Michaela Amick, and I am with West Virginia Family Support and Rehabilitation Services.
Hi, Michaela. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yeah. Any other first time attendees?
Yes, good morning. My name is Monica Kagi, and I am with Indivior. I work in our Overdose Reversal Sciences division.
Okay. What's the name of the organization again?
Indivior.
Indivior. Okay. And what are some of the services Indivior is involved in again?
We are a pharmaceutical company that works in the behavioral health space. So we have an overdose medication called Opvi that has a specific indication for synthetics. And we also offer a long-acting injectable for moderate to severe opioid use disorder called Sublocade.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you for being with us. That sounds very interesting. Um, Before we get into it, and I know there's going to be a few more people coming on, and I'm going to, okay, so I've got my video on. Before we get started, I want to, this is a really good opportunity because the organization that Michaela represents is just embarking on some transitional housing. And I become aware of it a couple of months ago. The owner happens to be my sister-in-law, Gina Agude, and she had been talking to me about this, and I thought it was great. And so I thought this would be a good opportunity for her as well as for those who are looking for this type of housing to invite her on. But before we do that, I do want to bring up that September is going to be, well, it is designated as Recovery Month. And we have done some things in the past, but it's been probably a couple of years since we've done anything. And just wanted to see if anyone has any particular ideas or if anyone is planning anything special or particular around Recovery Month coming up in September. Anyone doing anything? Does anyone know of any? How you doing, Mike? Mark?
I'm doing pretty good. September, I know we're having a VA stand down event. It's gonna be at the Martin Luther King Center. I don't have the date yet, but I will try to get it from our VA program manager, Bruce Purnell, sometime and email you guys about it. If you have any vets in the area that's looking for assistance.
Is this something that you guys are going to be involved, or you're going to be assisting?
Oh, we're going to be sponsoring it.
So you're sponsoring it.
Yeah,
And
League Living
what's it called, and what's going to be
It's-
involved?
It's a VA stand down event. It's where vets can come and get services. They also offer clothing, supplies, blankets, stuff like that, just to help them out.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be at the
It's
MLK
good.
Center in Charleston. I just don't have the date in front of me. I know it's gonna be in September though.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Now, this event is not in Kanawha County. It's actually in Parkersburg, which,
No, we're having one in Kanawha County.
Oh,
no,
so
the
they
one
have
that, mhm.
Go ahead, Aaliyah. You were going to speak to there's another one going up in Parkersburg. Is that what you?
Yeah, on September 12th. Legal Aid is putting it on. It's called the Fall Family Resource Event.
Okay.
It'll be from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. and it's at the Big Sandy parking lot in Parkersburg.
Okay. Yeah, I know where that's at. I lived
And
up
it's,
in Parkersburg for many years. That's a big parking lot, so they'll have a lot of resources being provided.
yes, and Legal Aid of West Virginia is the one that's hosting it.
Okay. Sounds
Pastor
good.
Sylvie,
Yes.
sorry, Kenneth Jordan here. Big event. We've been on this for a couple of years now. September 26th is Save a Life Day. We have 26 states along the East Coast that will be participating. Basically, we'll be handing out swag bags and, of course, naloxone training throughout the area, especially in Kanawha County and throughout West Virginia. So it's a big day. If anybody needs any information, I'll put the flyer and stuff in the chat box.
Yeah, if you could put that basic information in the chat box, and that way we have it recorded and documented, and then we can maybe send out a an email of something that posts the various events that are going to be coming up in September. Yeah, there was a while ago we were working with and I don't know if Wavava is doing this, continuing to do this, but we were the one that actually kicked it off on. We had like a 5K run, and along Canal Boulevard, this council kind of instigated that, I guess you'd say, and then Wavava kind of took it over, but I don't know if they're doing this anymore. Um, but those events sound really encouraging. Is there anyone else, anything else going on in September for reentry month?
I just want to say that that event we're having is going to be September the 11th.
Okay,
We're going
so
to
they're
have.
both on.
I just
Okay.
got on the phone with Bruce Purnell. We're going to have all kind of vendors there for. It's going to be. It was really big last year. It's going to be really big again this year also.
Okay, and it's going to be inside the gym
Yes.
at MLK.
Yes, it's at the
Yeah.
gym.
Yeah, and for those of you who are not familiar, it's Donnelly Avenue is, I think Donnelly Avenue or Donnelly Street is where the Martin Luther King Center is.
Mark,
there someone
Kenneth,
else?
if you want to drop those into the chat or email those to me, I can get them shared out to the rest of the
I sure will.
listserv.
I sure will. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that would be good. Okay. Let me see. The other thing too, real quickly, before I have Michaela begin, is we really want to try to get some involvement in terms of gathering testimony, see if there's anyone that's willing to provide testimonies that speak to how people can change while in prison, so that we can work towards the upcoming legislative session. I don't know if there are any interim meetings coming up over the next few months. I know there's going to be an interim meeting up in Parkersburg, but normally when they have interim meetings out of Charleston, they don't do a whole lot there. But we do want to speak to the Second Look Act. As you all know, as you know, a couple of months ago, we spoke to it, and we had some, some really good presentations concerning Second Look, and it's been introduced every year for the past 3 or 4 years, but it never goes anywhere. And so Delegate Young is really wanting to get as much involvement so that we can get more traction on that bill this year. So if anyone knows of anyone, I know we've had a couple that have indicated they would be willing to do that, but anyone who knows of people who are good examples of people who have changed while in prison, and that's some of the things that we're looking for, and then we'll try to get some other people, some other involvements in the legislative process. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to right now, I'm going to ask if Michaela, I want to introduce her. Michaela Amick, she works for, she's the manager with the Family Support and Rehabilitation Services. This is an organization, as I indicated, that has been around for several years. It has a lot of different types of housing throughout Charleston and other places, well, really in Kanawha County, but a lot in Charleston. And they are embarking on some transitional housing. And as of July 1st of this year. And so I want to ask if Michaela, if you could, I don't know if you need to share your screen, or if you don't need to, let me know if you need to share your screen. And so I'm going to give it over to you right now, Michaela, if you would.
Hi, I'm Michaela Amick, and like I said, I'm with West Virginia Family Support and Rehabilitation Services, and really, I don't need to share my screen. I didn't have a presentation, but we just wanted to talk a little bit about what we're doing and the new things that we are starting. We have had some treatment homes and sober homes in Kanawha and Cabell County, but now we have decided that we wanted to turn at least one. We're going to start with one, and possibly move forward with more for just reentry homes. So we're starting with one female reentry home in Charleston, and we're going to be looking at conflict resolution, conflict analysis, targeted case management, therapy services for mental health, supportive counseling, group therapy. So we're going to be doing housing, and the targeted case management will revolve around helping them people be able to get jobs, and kind of break some of those barriers and find out what those barriers are, and work towards being able to rebuild. So we're really excited. There are some cosmetic things that we need to do to the house before it completely is revamped into this program. But this is a new program that we're starting, and we already have some of those beds are already spoken for whenever whenever people do come. The program is West Virginia Family Support and Rehabilitation Services. I don't know if Gina is going to come up with a different program name for that, but she was, thinking about kind of combining that with the Shirley Temple name, just because it is already established. But this particular program would be only for people with felonies who are in reentry that do not have substance use disorder. Because we already have programs surrounding that. So we already are creating home plans for people with substance use disorder. We have one in Charleston right now and one in Huntington. And that's the Huntington is our Phoenix Rising program. Then we also have, sober homes and step down programs for those, as well as we're just getting approval for intensive outpatient programs. And I saw a question about violent felonies. Yes, we will accept people with violent felonies, so long as we are able to see, because we will have a referral application. We want to be able to see that people have changed, and so they haven't been, violent within the past couple of months, But the one thing I know with our Charleston house is we will not be focusing on people that have sexual offenses. And that's mainly because it is very close to a school. So that's the main reason for that. But, we believe that even people with violent felonies can make changes, and we want to be able to be there to support them.
Michaela,
Yeah, go ahead.
in talking to Gina, she had indicated that there's housing that will be in Charleston. She also mentioned is something also in St. Albans.
We're looking at a program, and she's not sure. We're going to start with the house that is in Charleston for reentry, and then if it does okay, then we're going to go ahead and open up that St. Albans home. But it's possible that we may look at that St. Albans home as just a home for the homeless population, for people that are experiencing homelessness to be able to come to, which could potentially be people with felonies as well.
Now that population, it's not going to be necessarily reentry, or these are individuals that just that well, you mentioned that they would possibly have felonies, but are you saying that some of that housing could be for those that it's not reentry oriented?
It could be. Right now, like I said, we're just focusing on the one house as a reentry home, and then as we build, that will get bigger. And so we're hoping that it will get bigger, and that we will be able to possibly even open up more homes, because we have plenty of homes, and we are turning some of those, like I said, into treatment homes. So some of them are going to be for they're going to be OFLAC certified treatment homes, but then the ones that are not, we're going to be looking at reentry. So the referral process, I saw a question about that. So we actually will have, and I'll put my email address in the chat here in a few, but basically we'll have a referral application, and we're already getting applications for our treatment beds from people that are from case managers within the jails that are saying, hey, this person has substance use disorder, so I want to be able to refer them. So we have a referral and application packet, and then the case manager from the jail just sends that over to us, and then we accept that person, and we find out when their parole date is, and we accept them for the date that their parole hearing is.
Okay, so was there another?
It's not required that the program be WAVAR certified, and the reason is because it's not a recovery home. And right. our SUD treatment beds are not under WAVAR because they are under OFLAC, because WAVAR only certifies sober living homes. They don't certify the actual treatment homes. Those are 3.1 and 3.5 levels of care.
Right. And I think, we're starting to, I guess the DCR is starting to, I hope, from the last couple of meetings, it's become clear that there's a misunderstanding. And Mark, you can speak to that because you've experienced it, where the DCR just did not have a clear understanding of what needs to be, falls under the WAVA jurisdiction. And so you have family support has all three. You have sober living, you have recovery, and now you're branching out into, you know, this transitional. Transitional does not come under WVA. And for treatment centers, the treatment centers don't come under the WVA either. Those come under OFLAC. And so that needs to be understood by these reentry coordinators within DCI, because you know, we do know that they are not sending people, you know, and I've encountered this a couple of times where they say, well, if it's not WVA certified, we can't send them there. But we said, well, they don't have to be WVA certified. And so I know that there is some miscommunication there. So the places that you're talking about now do not come under WVA, and they don't, so therefore they don't need to be certified.
Correct, because these are, and especially because the reentry homes that we're, you know, starting, like I said, we're starting with one, and then we're hoping to expand into two, and then maybe even three, and, you know, we're starting with females, and then we may have you know, a house for males. These are just for people with felonies that do not have substance use disorder. We already have those. And those are our treatment beds, the 3.1 and 3.5 levels of care that fall under OFLAC. And so they are OFLAC certified. And these beds are just going to be transitional living for people with felonies. Now, if we end up opening the St. Albans house for people with for reentry, if we end up doing that, it is possible that we could end up taking people that do have sexual offenses, because it is, you know, within that radius that they would be allowed to live and make their home plan. So that is a possibility in the future. Right now, we're just looking at that house in Charleston, and it is just for reentry. So it does not fall under WVAR because it is not substance use disorder. It is not a sober living. It's just transitional living, just to help people that maybe don't, because, you know, the thing that we're finding is that, you know, not every felon has substance use disorder. And
Right.
so
Exactly.
how long can a resident stay at each level? Is there a specific time period? You know, well, we're looking at, it could be anywhere from 6 months to a year. But you know, if we have somebody who's doing really, really well, and they are working towards, you know, getting their own home, part of that targeted case management is to help them get back on their feet. So it might be up to 6 months, but it could be longer. You know, I don't want to put, you know, necessarily a time cap on there, because every case is going to be different, and we have to meet people's individual needs.
Right. And now, so I guess there's some parts of this that that is different than what I had talked to Gina about initially. So the house that is in Charleston, you're saying that one is going to be strictly for women.
Correct.
Okay. And I know that she said that there is one that's already been located there. And I guess they came right out of prison. They came through the home plan. Is that right?
That's
And so you coordinate. So the DCI was contacting you a particular. In this case, it's going to be primarily Lakin. I'm assuming that will be contacting you, and I guess the parole officers have to come out and inspect you. They've already done that, so that's going to be a shortcut for them, since they've already done it for one. They're going to approve it. Any other ones are going to be approved automatically, it seemed like.
right.
Okay. And how many units does the facility in Charleston have, the housing?
It has 8.
8?
8.
Okay.
8. 4 bedrooms, 8 beds.
Wow. And you said that there are some that are already committed.
Yes. So within the next couple of months, there's parole hearings that are already scheduled, so those beds are already spoken for, but not all of them. So we will have some room.
Okay. Okay.
And
And
like
I
I
was
said, I'll put my email in the chat box, and so if people want to just shoot me an email, I can send that referral form and an application.
okay. So there's likely not going to be I mean, is it possible for those? Because there is a woman that I had a conversation with. She's over in the Sojourners um, on Washington Street, and she really feels like it's not a good environment for her. There's drug activity in and around the area. Is it possible for somebody to be admitted out that's not necessarily in prison right now? They were incarcerated, they've been released, they've been out for several months. What would be the process for a person like that?
Well, absolutely. And I have plenty of cards, and I mean, I know of Sojourners, and it's right down the road. And I have no problem getting in contact with Sojourners and saying, hey, here's our enrollment application. If you have any residents that have been incarcerated that need help with reentry, because Sojourners is not a reentry program. It's just a shelter. And so we want to be able to get people the help that they need, even if it isn't just straight out of prison.
Okay. I may be contacting you and giving you the name of a person. I just needed to know what the process would be. Would it be me giving you her telephone number, or do I need to have her give her your telephone number? And what's the best process? What's the best way to go on that?
I mean, either way is fine, really, because I always accept phone calls. I answer my phone even when it's telemarketers. So I would answer the phone, and if I don't answer, if someone leaves me a voicemail, I get back to them pretty quickly. But if you want to give me the person's name and phone number, that's acceptable too. I can reach out.
Okay. Anyone have any other questions?
Would there be any type of fees that they would have to pay to stay there?
Yes, but I'm actually not sure what the program fees are at this moment. Gina did not give me that information.
Okay.
I'm
All
sure
right.
Well,
that,
Gina,
but I think that it'll probably, I know she mentioned a sliding scale fee. So that, because when people are first getting on their feet, it's not reasonable to say, hey, you need to pay us $300 a month, or, whatever.
right.
Gotcha.
So I
Yeah.
think she had mentioned a sliding scale fee.
I mean, that's
Well,
great. I get all kinds of calls here at the Liberty Center. Of course, we only take men here, and like I said, we're transitional. Also, our guys can only stay here for up to a year, but they must stay at least 6 months to stay here, and they don't pay anything, which helps them really get on their feet. They shouldn't
Yeah.
have any excuses. And we're also looking to open up women also, so I would definitely like to get in touch with you and keep in contact, and maybe bring Lincoln and see what we can do about that.
Absolutely.
But the next year we also will be opening up one for women the next year.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful to hear. Yeah. And like I said, we already have some of the substance use disorder beds as well anyway. We've got one for women in Huntington. We've got one that we just got approval for 22 beds. So we're going to be opening up another one for women and another one for men. And we have one for men in Charleston already. So that part of the reentry is already being done, and we're seeing referrals come left and right. And we already have a waiting list, and for people that are going to be on parole and home plans. And so that's really exciting. But now we're just branching out to be able to say, just for people that need help, and the ones that are substance use disorder, they have zero program fees the whole time that they're there.
Where are both the programs located in Charleston, the men's and the women's?
So the men's treatment facility that we have right now, it's a 12-bed, and it's on the East End, on John Norman Street, and then the women's is in Huntington. And it is on Collis. I think it's near St. Mary's Hospital is the but we haven't opened up the other two yet. They're pre-certification process.
Okay.
Kayla, you talking about the Shirley Temple one, or is that
No,
a different one?
No. different. These are actually the 3.1 and 3.5 levels of care. So these are people that either just get out of detox, or they've been sober for maybe a month, or they were sober, then they went, or they were not sober, they went to prison or they went to jail, and they're just getting out. And so they're not, they have substance use disorder, but they're not quite ready to go into, just regular sober living, or they need that extra treatment because maybe they were only sober because they were in prison or jail.
Right. Mark, I can't remember the name of the street that, but they really, I visited the ones, the Shirley Temple I've been to. It's actually right behind First Baptist Church.
Okay,
They've
yeah,
got
no, it's just right straight. We're on Shrewsbury, so I know exactly where it is.
okay,
Yeah, it's like a
right,
block from here.
Yeah.
right. And then there's another location as well in Charleston. But the one that I have not been to the one that just opened. What's the name of the street that the one that you just started now? Where is that located again?
Just the reentry without the substance use.
Right, the
That
one that you have one female in already, and you're filling up on the other one, other
Mantra.
rooms.
There's one on Mantra
Montrose.
that we're probably going to be turning the same. She's not sure if she wants to do like working just with the homeless population, because we may end up using another house for that. But the one in St. Albans is up, what is that road? South Walnut Street. It's like
Okay,
right beside that big active action sports complex. And then the other one is on Montrose Drive.
so that's in South Charleston then.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So and Gina had mentioned, she did mention something in the area of $200, but she's not going to, but she's, like you said, she's considering maybe a sliding scale, and that, and it's not going to be something that they're going to start demanding immediately, but there is going to be the philosophy is that, at some point you're going to have to start, moving in that direction to be able to pay your way to some degree, start looking for employment. She also mentioned, and I don't know if this is happening yet, but she also mentioned that there will be surveillance within the facility, the homes, and you have to take care of your own food, provide for your own food, and of course, daily chores and that sort of thing.
Yes, and there are already cameras in the homes, but just in the common areas. And then she was looking at the possibility of having a therapist or a supportive counselor or some sort of staff to be able to be in the home, and maybe not 24/7, but it is possible, but maybe just during the daytime, or when, and be on call whenever there is a crisis or whenever there are issues.
Okay. And approximately how many are still open right now of the 8 units?
Right now, I believe that 4 are spoken for, and we already have 1 in. So I believe that there will be 3 available by either August
Okay.
1st or 1st.
Okay. Because we do have some men that are in, their home plans need to be, coming up here pretty soon. The location, when do you expect the location in St. Albans to, become available possibly for men?
We're looking at September.
Okay. Okay. And the number of units is that one is how many again?
That one is 6.
Okay. Okay. So that's encouraging. I think, this is, Charleston just does not have, well, really across the country, I think this is something that has always been a perennial problem. And I think, you know, what's being made available for men and for women. It's a start. We need more of it. And so I think this is going to be very encouraging. And they're probably going to go quickly. I anticipate they're going to go quickly. I'm going to give you, I'll get a number to you, and I'll let her know that she can call, or you know, if you want to call her, but I'll tell her to call you as soon as possible. And hopefully in September, you know, I've got two guys that are you know, up for, you know, a hearing in August, and you know, they're going to have home plans and so forth that they do are approved. So hopefully, you know, the one in St. Albans can be made available for some of the men. So
Yeah,
Tricia's just asking.
it's
Go
definitely
ahead.
possible. And even if St. Albans, like if we did go in the direction of having two women's houses and one being Montrose and St. Albans, like I said before, we, you know, if this program starts, like if we start with Montrose and it does go very well, then we could end up, you know, being, you know, having more availability, like using some of these other homes, because we have quite a few homes, and yes, some of them are being used for sober living, some of them treatment, but you know, the puzzle pieces are starting to come together. And so once they do, I really feel like this could be a bigger program that we could end up having more homes.
Okay. Well, I definitely want to keep tabs on it, and you know, because you know, it sounds like it's somewhat fluid right now, between now and the end of the year, and a lot of things could happen. So I do want to kind of keep in touch with you and Gina concerning it, in terms of how things are changing and developing, so that you know, we have a resource. And I think you know, your email address, I think Gina, I mean, was that Krista that asked for your email
Yeah,
address?
I put it in the chat. And then I just talked to Gina because I wanted to get clarification. She actually said it will be the St. Albans house that will be women, and the Montrose house will be men, but not yet. And the St. Albans house, the women's beds are spoken for. Most of them, there might be two available for women, but the Montrose house will be for men.
Okay, so that was throwing me off, because I thought that we had talked that the Montrose would be for the men.
Yeah, she told me different yesterday, so it must have just been a miscommunication. She got backwards, or I got backwards. One of us did, but that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's
So,
fine. I'm glad you got that clarification, because I was really confused. I said, because I had a couple of guys that were trying to assist, and I thought that they were going to be for the Montrose. So the facility in the housing in Montrose, you're saying that one does have a woman, or but it's the one in St. Albans that has the woman in it already?
St. Albans has the women in it already. Now, Montrose right now, it is currently being used for sober living. So but it's people that have already graduated, and so they're just waiting to go somewhere else, right? And to get their own place, or to move into a different place. And then once they move out and we get some cosmetic stuff done to the Montrose house.
Right. Okay. And that one, the Montrose that has 4, not 8. It has 4.
Yes, I think that it can hold up to 6, but we need to get to go in and see what all it can hold. Because I believe that it is 6. No, Montrose is 8. Montrose can hold up to 8. St. Albans can hold up to 6.
Okay. And how many right now, you know, how many are vacant? I mean, how much longer do you think the Montrose, how long do you think it will take for that to be completely vacated?
We're looking at it being vacated by the end of August, and then having the cosmetic work finished by mid-September.
Okay.
That's what
All
we're
right.
looking.
Okay. Okay. And so, and I did tell this one lady that, you know, that the location, I thought it was in, St. Albans, so it is in St. Albans. And she
Yeah.
said she didn't have a problem with that. Transportation will be the only issue for her. And that's the case. You know, housing seems to be number one, and then once you get the housing, it's transportation to get to work, you know, and that sort of thing. So, and I think there's good transportation. KRT goes back and forth from St. Albans to Charleston.
Yes, it does. And we actually have, even with the sober living people that are in St. Albans right now, they do really well to utilize the bus transportation system. It's a big hill, so it is a walk, but it is okay.
Okay. All right. Very good. It's very encouraging. Mark, this is something definitely, because I've talked to David about visiting some of yours, but it sounds some similarities sound, but you know, between what you guys are doing.
Yeah, it's definitely a whole lot of. It's very similar to what we do. We've been doing this for 20 years here at the Liberty Center, so it's definitely a lot of familiarity with it also.
Yeah.
And if you guys are definitely trying to open up a homeless place for the homeless in St. Albans, it's definitely a need because we have the Twin Cities Center down there now,
Mhm.
which we used to open up for the homeless, but now it's just strictly for individuals with disabilities. We don't take anybody off the streets anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
definitely a need in that area.
Michaela, were you familiar with Peak Living?
I've seen the Twin Cities, but I'm not very familiar.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Very good. And I'll you know, I'll try to keep abreast of what's going on in this area. And you know, as things develop, you know, hopefully they'll develop sooner than later. But as things go, I'll you know, maybe give you an opportunity to come back on and once you think you're at a point. But the one in St. Albans pretty much is a good to go, and so we're just going to be waiting to hear back to see how things are going in the Montrose housing.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Does anyone have any other questions?
Michaela, if you can just
Still,
share your information there in the chat, so oh, yeah, and we still don't see it.
Oh, apparently I was direct messaging, and that's sorry.
Oh, okay.
All right, here, we'll get it now.
all right. Well, if there's no other questions, I do want Monica, if kind of interested to if you're interested in maybe providing you know, in a future meeting, anything concerning your we have, you know, I think I don't have anything scheduled in August or September because you know, it sounds like the program you're dealing with and offering is very interesting. I thought maybe if you're interested in presenting maybe next month, or if that's available. We meet on the second Wednesday of each month. And so I don't know what day, I can't remember the date for August, the second Wednesday in August. Is that something you'd be interested in doing?
Absolutely. And my colleague Bonnie Helvey is also on the meeting, and I think we could share some time, and I think that would be really helpful just to get some education and information out there.
Very good. All right, so I'll you've got your information in the chat box, and I'll you know, I'll have that information and contact you. I'm working on my phone. I can't do this chat. It's just, it's crazy. This is only the second time that I can recall having this meeting on my phone, but but in any case, it's been very educational, very encouraging. Michaela, you did a great job. I'll let Gina know. Kudos to you. And I'll keep abreast and, find out how things are going. And, but Monica, if you, maybe, Krisha, if you could maybe email me Monica's information, because like I said, I don't know if I'll be able to save the chat. Normally I'm able to do it on my desktop, but on my phone, I don't know if I can do that.
I'll email you the YouTube link for with the recording in the chat.
Yes, that'll be good. That'll be good. And then I'll be in touch with you, Monica, and schedule you for next month. Interested to hearing some of the things that is going on with your organization. If there's anyone that's would like to present in September, October, those are available, and just put them in the chat and we'll, get in touch with you. But if no one has any more questions for Michaela, thank you so much. I know Gina greatly appreciates it because she told me, last month, she said, I may or may not be available, but one way or another, I'll have somebody there. And so I'm thankful that you were available.
And if anybody has any other questions, feel free to email me. I did the best I could. I had short notice, but
You did
but
great.
I hope I answered everybody's questions. And if there are any more, please feel free to email me, text me, call me.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Well, if there are no other questions, and appreciate everyone coming on and furthering it. Again, if you know any person that has a tremendous success story in terms of how they were able to change while in prison, to justify the concept of a second look. I'm going to be there's some resources out there that shows the various states that do have second look already in place. There's not that many. It's not quite 10. But we may be looking at that because we really want to make a push for this concept to be enacted into law, allowing judges to do this. And I think, in the 2025 legislative session, I think we really want to make a push for this. So if anyone has any names, persons that could serve in that purpose, let me know. We would be in contact with them and see if we can, maybe have them speak before a legislative committee or that sort of thing. And I know some of you, Mark, I'm sure, Mark, you have some individuals that know of, and Michaela the same. Anyone that will be great examples, please let me know. And I've got your contact information, both of you. So.
All right.
All right. All right. Well, you all
Sounds
have a
good.
great morning. I'm about to go into Disney World right now.
All right.
I'll be
Yeah.
there next week.
Will you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have fun.
And Mark, I don't have my Red Sox hat on, but you guys took a beating from us. So
I can't talk baseball right now. It's bad.
all right. Monica, we'll be in touch. Thank you so much. God bless you all. We'll have a good day, and we'll see you next month.
You
All right,
too.
take care.
Bye.
I will see you.